good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to like and share the video. And you can support the channel as well now. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, let's do this. This week in boxing episode, I can't remember. Before we start, shout out, massive shout out and thank you to Todd Boyd from the United States of America, who sent me this t-shirt. He was at the Wilder Ortiz fight and sent me this, which is actually a pretty cool t-shirt. So massive thank you to him. I really do like that. I have said, if I can, obviously because I'm going to AJ Ruiz, if I can get an AJ Ruiz t-shirt, which I'm pretty sure I can, I will send that to him as a thank you. So thank you, Todd Boyd. All right, let's do this. Results. There were loads of fights around the world. Fight cards all over the place. Obviously, Frank Warren had his fight card. Matchroom had their fight card. Top Rank had their fight card. There were other fight cards as well. We can't go through all of them. But let's start with Frank Warren's. Kind of an upset. I guess it is pretty much an upset, right? John Casimero stopped Zolani Tete in the third round. That's the same guy. Casimero is the same guy, I believe, that stopped Charlie Edwards as well a few years back. Could be wrong, but I think it is. The name rings a bell. That's Zolani Tete's first loss in 7 years. He was talking, obviously, that he wanted the Inoue fight, but yeah, that obviously stops that. Casimero himself now wants the Inoue fight. That would be a good fight because both of those guys can punch. Casimero can fucking hit. I mean, his punches sounded bloody brutal. So yeah, that'd be a good fight between Casimero and Inoue. Shame for Tete, though. I do like Tete, but he'll come again. He'll come again. Loads of fights on that card, by the way. Loads of title fights on the card as well. British super featherweight title action. Anthony Cassase, I hope that is the right pronunciation of his name, beat Sam Bowen by split decision. I've not actually seen the fight, so I don't know if that's correct. If anyone wants to tell me if that was a correct decision, I'm not sure. Lerone Richards beat Lennox Clark. Moves to 13-0. That was for the vacant British super middleweight title, so one to watch there, Lerone Richards. Lennox Clark as well, one to watch. I think that was a split decision as well. Sam Maxwell beat Conor Parker TKO in the 7th to get the WBO European Super Welterweight title. And Hamzat Shiraz beat Ryan Kelly in the 6th to get the WBO European Super Welterweight title. Frank always seems to have sort of WBO belts. Like, he always seems to have that link with that organization. You never really hear about IBF titles and WBC belts, and always seems to be WBO and sometimes WBA, but that's it. Top Rank had a card as well. Carl Frampton got back to winning ways on that card, beat Tyler McCreary. Shut out, unanimous decision. I think he dropped McCreary twice as well. I did say, I don't know if you guys saw the video, I did a build-up video to this, and I did say that McCreary is going to be very tight at the weight because he's struggling to make the weight, and Frampton immediately went to the body. Pretty much that's kind of how he won the fight, really, breaking down that body. McCreary will come again, good boxer, but Frampton's just another level, to be honest. Let's see what next. He wants a Jamal Herring fight. That'll be for another title in a different weight class, so let's hope he can get that. But regardless, now he's back, right? He's back. He looks like he's got the excitement to box again. There was talk about him sort of leaving the sport after the Josh Warrington loss. I'm happy he didn't. I think he still has a lot to offer. The main event was Carlos Adames versus Patrick Teixeira. Patrick Teixeira beat Adames by unanimous decision to claim the interim WBO 154-pound title. That will go up to the full belt if and when Munguia vacates. Munguia obviously fighting Spike O'Sullivan at middleweight, so he should vacate now. So Patrick Teixeira pretty much is the new WBO 154-pound world champion. Oscar Valdez won by TKO in the 7th. He beat Adam Lopez. Adam Lopez was supposed to be on the card anyway, so it is a late replacement, but Adam Lopez was already due to be on the card. He was supposed to fight Gutierrez, who came in 11 pounds overweight, which is crazy. I don't know what happened. There has to be something has to be done about this. But it's funny, I don't know if you guys saw this, but WBC released a tweet about the weights. So I think they done like a 30-day weigh-in, 20-day weigh-in, 7-day weigh-in. And this guy, Gutierrez, was on weight all the time. So I'm guessing his body probably just shut down, couldn't get rid of the weight, body shut down, and he decided for health reasons to eat again. So a lot of people are giving him stick, but I mean, if your body shuts down and you can't just simply cut any more weight, and you guys know how dangerous it is to cut weight, or you should know, then you gotta eat. right? You got to eat. It was funny though, him stepping on the scales when he knew that he's 11 pounds over. He's probably thought, what the fuck, I've just got to step on. So Bob Arum said he's not going to use him again. He's probably going to get fined, probably going to get suspended. So it's a big shame. But yeah, Oscar Valdez got the win. Did have to get up off the floor. Not sure about Oscar Valdez. There was a time when I thought he was really going to be something special. Don't think he will be. Who else was on that card? Arnold Barboza beat William Silva TKO in the 5th. That's for the NABF super lightweight belt. So good win for him. Matchroom had a card in Monaco. Who was on that card? Cecilia Brækhus. She beat Victoria Bustos by unanimous decision. So she still retains all those belts. She's got every single belt at welterweight. There is a lot of talk coming from Claressa Shields saying she wants that fight. Claressa Shields does fight Ivana Habzin in January at 154 pounds. So who knows? It could happen. I doubt it will happen, but it will be a massive fight. To be fair to Claressa Shields, she literally is trying to get every big fight she can get. She's calling out everyone. I don't know if you guys saw a video she did with, but it was like a face-off years ago with Layla Ali. Now she's saying she wants Layla Ali to come out of retirement and have that fight. So she just wants a fight. I wouldn't be surprised if she does move over to MMA soon just to get the money and get some big fights because she's not really getting them in boxing. The main event was Alexander Besputin versus Radzab Butayev. Besputin won by unanimous decision. And he now claims the interim or the regular, I think, WBA welterweight belt. Joe Cordina beat Mario Tinoco by unanimous decision to get the WBA Continental Super Featherweight belt. And Jiu Zhang, a lot of people talking about him, the heavyweight from, I think it's China, beat late replacement Andrea Rudenko by unanimous decision. So he now, I think, retains or wins the WBO Oriental heavyweight belt. Hughie Fury was supposed to be on that card as well, pulled out because of a virus the day before. So it was strange because he weighed in a bit heavier, again, doing interviews after the weigh-in, talking about the fight, and then pulls out. Obviously, look, it's not his fault. If he's sick, he's sick. But people already kind of teetering off the Hughie Fury bandwagon, and this doesn't help, does it? Especially if people have travelled. I don't know how many people have travelled. I don't know if anyone did. But if some of your fans have travelled and then you pull out on the day of the fight or the day before the fight, not good at all. All right, what news do we have? Not much, just sort of bits and pieces as usual. The Gloves Are Off was filmed. I don't know if you guys have seen it. You probably have, between AJ and Andy Ruiz. Bit low-key, if I'm honest with you. All of them are low-key, actually. I don't know. I think they might have to sort of try a different format. I'm getting a bit bored of them, to be honest. I guess you need two people that are going to go at each other. Like, we still need to see the Jarrell Miller versus AJ Gloves Are Off. I need to find it. It's somewhere in the ether. We need to find that one. But Johnny Nelson obviously tried to stir things up a bit by asking Andy Ruiz, do you think AJ quit? And it's weird because AJ looked at Johnny Nelson straight away like, what are you doing? This is not in the script. And Andy Ruiz said yes, but then tried to kind of take it back a bit. AJ didn't seem too confident in that Gloves Are Off, if I'm honest with you. Didn't seem confident. Saying all the right things as AJ does, but I don't know what you can read from these kind of Gloves Are Off shows, but if I'm going to read anything, it's that Andy Ruiz seems pretty confident, right? Pretty chilled. AJ seems to be, I don't know, saying all the right things like he's almost spoke to a sports psychologist, but I don't know if he believes them. I hope I'm wrong again, because you know I'm an AJ fan, I'm on the AJ bandwagon, but didn't seem confident. Some good fallout, I think, from the John Ryder Callum Smith issue is that Canelo has vacated the WBA regular belt that he won from Rocky Fielding. And Eddie Hearn is trying to petition that John Ryder fight for that vacant belt. I don't know who the other guy is that's going to fight for it, but Eddie Hearn is trying to get John Ryder in a position. If he can't, he's trying to make John Ryder get a position as becoming mandatory again for Callum Smith. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's good news, I guess, if you're a John Ryder fan. All right, announced this week, I've done a couple of videos about it, that Dillian Whyte will come back and fight on the AJ Ruiz undercard. He will fight Marius Vac. That's all good news. Obviously, the UCAD issue is popping up again. A lot of people are saying, okay, what's going on with UCAD? People are starting to speculate as to what's happening. Eddie Hearn did say something, and I tend to agree with what Eddie Hearn's saying here. Like, what's going on with UCAD? Whatever they're doing, they need to speed it up, right? There seems to have been a hearing. I think that's all been out in the news, but they haven't yet made a decision. So Dillian Whyte is clear to fight. And if Dillian Whyte is clear to fight, he needs to fight. He needs to make money, needs to be in the ring. He did liken it or compare it to the Ryan Martin situation. I don't know if you guys know what happened with Ryan Martin. He fought Luke Campbell, which was a year ago. And only, I think last week, did UCAD finally kind of release a decision. They gave him a 4-year ban. It can't take a year, 1 year, to make a decision. These things have to be a lot quicker. And if Dillian Whyte isn't banned, if he's allowed to fight, then I'm all for him fighting. You guys know where I stand with regards to him fighting. But look, if UCAD can't make a decision, then what's he supposed to do? He can't sit on the shelf for a year. So I agree with Eddie Hearn. UCAD, and whatever they're doing, they just need to speed it up because the process is far too long. Dillian Whyte also said some things this week about Deontay Wilder. Said some things like Deontay Wilder is just a tall basketball player that isn't a bad man and, you know, used to work at McDonald's. So all the bad man stuff is fake. I've never, ever thought that Deontay Wilder is trying to be a bad man, if I'm honest with you. I don't know what that means, trying to be a bad man in boxing. I don't think Deontay Wilder goes around saying anything other than he's going to knock out his opponent. That's it. If that's trying to be a bad man, then I guess, don't know. I think all boxers are bad men then, but yeah. Dillian Whyte just needs to win against Marius Vac and then see what he can do next. All right, Manny Pacquiao has announced, or his people have announced, that they're looking at 3 possible names. I think we're kind of repeating ourselves here with Manny Pacquiao. But he said that those 3 names are Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, and Sean Porter. We already knew about Mikey and Danny, but Sean Porter being added to that list is good. Again, if I had to choose out of all those 3, it definitely would be Sean Porter. Even though he's coming off a loss, it was a very, very good spot against Errol Spence. And I actually want him to have a payday. I like Sean Porter a lot, just because he takes the fights, right? He's been in some really, really good fights against some decent names. Win or lose, he takes the fight, so I wouldn't mind that. Mikey has been offered, according to him, a big fight offer from DAZN to fight Jesse Vargas at 147 pounds. He's obviously waiting because his number one choice, number one option, obviously is Manny Pacquiao. Probably a lot more money, but Mikey's waiting for that first, and then he'll make his decision. If he doesn't get the Pac-Man fight, then it is likely we'll see Mikey Garcia on DAZN against Jesse Vargas. Talking about Jesse Vargas, he was supposed to be, or rumoured to be, fighting this man, Liam Smith. Liam Smith was also supposed to be, or at least rumoured to be, on the AJ Ruiz card. Nothing yet from Liam Smith. We have heard, though, this week that Liam Smith will return to the ring and fight on the Chavez Danny Jacobs card December 20th. I don't know what's going on with Liam Smith, if I'm honest with you. I don't know what's going on. I thought this move that he done from Frank to Eddie would be good for him, but what's he doing? He fought Sam Eggington. No disrespect. I mean, Sam Eggington still is live, right? But come on. Sam Eggington. He then fought some random guy in Mexico, and now I'm guessing, with this being short notice, he's not going to fight a top opponent on this card. When we look at what Frank done for him, Frank got him the Canelo fight, got him an interim world title fight against Liam Williams. Those fights were good. And then he also got him the Munguia fight. So sometimes the grass isn't always greener. I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. Chisora Usyk looks like it's going to be announced in February, which will be a massive fight. I've done a video about this yesterday. We're not going to talk too much about it, but fingers crossed that fight does come off. Good news for Chisora fans, good news for Usyk fans, not good news if you're Joseph Parker, who obviously wanted that fight. But obviously it's a bigger payday for Chisora, and if he wins, it's a big win, right? It puts him in the picture for a world title shot if he beats Usyk, so you can't blame him. Talking about world title shots, Marius Bradis has been stripped of his WBO title. I don't know if you guys remember that fight he had with Glowacki, all the drama, the elbows, punches after the bell, etc., etc. The WBO ordered an immediate rematch. He's decided to step aside from that and go on and fight in the World Boxing Super Series final. So Glowacki will fight, it looks like, Lawrence Okolie for the vacant belt, which is a good thing. No date and venue will be decided, but we do hope that the fight can happen over here. And that's a massive thing for Lawrence Okolie, right? To get a world title shot in what will be his 15th fight, I think it is. Is it his 15th? I know that, but I like the progression, right? British, again, Commonwealth, European. We talk about this a lot. And now world. That's the progression. So well done for him. Joe Joyce versus Marco Huck. There was a money issue with that fight. Marco Huck's team won the purse bid from Frank Warren and BT Sports. But there was a case of, okay, where is the money? You won the purse, but where's the money? I think the money has been sort of raised or been confirmed. So Joe Joyce versus Marco Huck will go ahead for the European heavyweight title. I have absolutely no idea how Marco Huck is fighting for this belt. No idea whatsoever. I don't know if it's because he was the European cruiserweight champion many, many moons ago. I don't know if that's what it is, but he's not done much at heavyweight. He did have a fight in America recently. It got turned into a no contest. But he did win that fight. He knocked the guy out in the first round, to be honest. But the referee didn't intervene, and he then supposedly punched him, I think either after the bell or when the referee was trying to break up and the fight got split, turned into a no contest. So he is coming off a win technically, but Joe Joyce should run through him. I mentioned Liam Williams earlier. Liam Williams will face Alantez Fox, a final eliminator for the WBO world title. Fox is 26-1. That one is against Demetrius Andrade, so that's a decent fight. That'll be on the undercard of Dubois versus Fujimoto. It takes place, I think it's December 20th at the Copper Box, so good chance for Liam Williams. I think Liam Williams is a good fighter as well, by the way. So we'll see what happens with that. VADA, some VADA issues or VADA news here. VADA announced that Lawrence Okoli and Jack Catterall have been removed from their rankings. Both of them have failed to enroll in the VADA clean boxing program. Don't know what's going on there. I don't know why boxers just don't enroll, if I'm honest with you. I don't get it. I mean, does it cost them anything to enroll? If anyone knows if it does cost them, let me know. If it's free and it's just about keeping the sport clean, I have no idea why you wouldn't enroll. But both of them have been removed from the rankings. All right, last bit of news here. Errol Spence has hinted that he will return summer 2020. I think he done an Instagram story post saying can't be broken. You can't break, what can't be broken. I don't know if that's obviously talking about his car accident, which really should have injured him seriously and didn't. But he is saying that he will be back in the summer, which is good. No one kind of knew what was going on with Errol Spence. He was supposed to fight in January against Danny Garcia. I do wonder if it will be Danny Garcia in the summer or just kind of an easy fight to get him back in the mix again. Not back in the mix, but getting back again. So we'll see. All right, and final bit of news, Luke Campbell says he wants to fight Jorge Linares next, that they're in discussions. Obviously, Luke Campbell and Jorge Linares bowed it out to a split decision win for Linares about a year and a half ago, I think it was. Linares isn't the same fight. I did come back, I think, 2 weeks ago and got a win out in Japan, I believe. So that'd be a decent fight. I don't know what weight. Linares has jumped up to 140 pounds. Luke Campbell obviously fought Loma at 135. So I don't know if this is Luke Campbell's first stint at 140. Could be good seeing him at 140. There isn't much. I mean, there's fights out there at 140. Obviously, he's not going to fight his stablemate, Josh Taylor, but there are other fights out there. So it'll be interesting to see if that's at 135 or 140. All right, that's This Week in Boxing. Peace.